All right, welcome to the practice ACT. We are going to do this, I think for the first maybe 5 or 6 questions. We are going to do them together, and I'm going to try to give you some strategies on how to make your score go up. I've been reading about it this weekend. I hope that I've got some things that are helpful for you. And then after we do 5 or 6 together, I think I'm going to have you try one, give you 60 seconds to do it, and then do it together. Now the ACT is a 60-minute test for the math section, and there are 60 problems. So they can't test you on anything too difficult. They're looking for very quick answers. A lot of the problems we've even been doing in class aren't good ACT questions simply because the amount of time it would take to solve the problem. So you just need to think about these kind of in a out-of-the-box type way. Some of them are pretty straightforward. I think number 1 is pretty straightforward here. But some of them you may have to think of some strategies to make them an easier, quicker problem. Also, you may want to think of some ways that you can narrow down the answers. If I can take off 1 or 2 possible choices, then already I've made the problems easier. Or you're more likely to get it right because you have fewer choices to choose from. The other strategy that I read was to skip the hardest math problems. In order to qualify into 1050, you have to get a 24 on this test. Now, a 24 equates to getting 36 of them correct, so that's just barely over the half. So if we see something that seems hard, you don't want to spend a ton of time on it. If it seems hard, quickly answer it. Mark it on either your test booklet or on the Scantron, probably your test booklet, so you know to go back to it. Maybe fold the page over so that you can get to it easily. And move on. I would answer the question because you don't want to risk your bubble sheet being off. For example, let's see. Oh, you'll see that tomorrow. For example, you know how you're answering like A, B, A, and then you skip one? So this should be an empty row, but you accidentally answer question 5 right here. And so now all of your numbers are off one. I would answer this one so that that doesn't happen. And then maybe mark it in your booklet so you know to go back to it. Okay, so let's just try some of these, and hopefully I can think of some more tips to give you along the way. I have this. Oh, I might have to restart it. I don't want to go over my time. I started the recording about 15 minutes ago, decided I didn't like what I was doing. Oh, stop. And so, there. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. I've never used this before. Oh, now we're going. I didn't like what I was doing, so I'm starting over. So, there you have it. Okay, so problem number 1, the blood type shown of 150 people were determined for a study as shown in the figure below. If one person from the study is randomly selected, what is the probability, that's huge, that this person has either type A or type AB blood? Okay, this is kind of huge too. I want to know if the person has this blood or this blood. Now, when you're doing probability, it's always out of the total, and they tell us 150 people are surveyed. Well, the probability that they both, or if it's or, it's one or the other. If it would have said and, it would be a 0 probability, because you can't have both A and AB blood. But because of the or, it could be one or the other. When I add those two numbers together, I get 73. So I've got a 73 out of a 150 shot that I have type A or type B. AB. A or AB. Number 2, the monthly fee for single rooms at 5 colleges are this, and this, respectively. What is the mean of these monthly fees? Again, this is asking something very quick. The mean means the average. So if you want to find the average, you add these all up and divide by 5 because there's 5 there. I don't know what that is in my calculator saying. So hurry and beat me to it. Good. Copy the next, is it copy the next one on run 2? I made it really big so I can't see it well. Okay, number 3. On a particular road map, 1/2 inch represents 18 miles. But how many miles apart are 2 towns that are 2.5 inches apart on this map? So, for every 1/2 inch, it's 18. For every full inch, it would be then, double it, 36. So if I take 36 times by my 2.5, I would get how far apart they are. So I was told 1/2 inch, so I changed it to a full inch because it's easier to multiply those. So on the map, there would be 90 inches apart. Or 90 miles apart. In real life. Okay, number 4, given f equals c d cubed, f equals 450, b equals 10, what is c? So this is a very quick just algebra, plug them in. So f is 450 equals c, that's what we're looking for, times 10 cubed, if I'm seeing that right. So let's divide by 10 cubed. 450 divided by 10 cubed is 0.45. If f of x equals 3x plus 7 squared, then find f of 1. So this is function notation. I want to know what the function is if x is equal to 1. So 3 times 1 plus 7 is 10, and 10 squared is 100. So we're just plugging it in and evaluating. All right, I hope this is helpful. Okay, number 6, George's current hourly wage for working at Dent Smiles is $12. George was told that at the beginning of next month, his new hourly wage would be increased 6% of his current hourly wage. What will be George's new hourly wage? Ooh, we just did problems like this. This is our rate, right? And our equation is our, what do we call it? AP 1 plus R to the T. So I just need a 6% increase. You put a 6 in here, and it's 1 month later. So he's going to be making $12.72. Okay, next page. So at this point, I'm going to just give you a minute to try the problem, and then we'll do the problem together. And I'm going to give you a minute to try the problem, and then we'll do the problem together. So I'm not going to spend more than 2 minutes on each problem. One for you, one for me. Go. Okay, the first term is 1 in the geometric sequence 1, -3, 9, -27, and so on. What is the 7th term? So we don't need any crazy formula. We just need to know what's going on from point to point. We did geometric sequences in the 9th grade. So to get from here to here, you multiplied by a -3, multiplied by a -3. So the first term is 1, -3, 9, -27. Multiplied that by 3s. Is 81. Multiply that by a -3 is a -243. How are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Multiply that by a -3 is 729. 729. All right, number 8. You have roughly 1 minute. Go. Okay, the shipping rate for customers. Quick ship consists of a fee per box and a price per pound. This might be one that you want to quickly skip because it seems really complicated. There's lots of reading. Say below gives the fee and the price per pound for customer shipping boxes of various weights. Greg wants to ship quick. To ship one box that weighs 15 pounds, what is the shipping rate of this box? So I'm just looking for the rate. So how much am I going to, oh, no, I didn't do that. So it's in here, the fee is $10, and this is how much it is per pound, so 0.65 times the 15 pounds plus the $10. So automatically this one's out because it's less than the $10. 15 times 0.65 is $9.75, so H. So don't forget the fee plus the price per pound. Alright, the computer chip, 0.32 centimeters thick, is made up of layers of silicon. If the top and bottom layers are each 0.03 centimeters thick and the inner layers are each 0.02 centimeters thick, how many inner layers are there? Ooh, that is one. I'm sorry, I should have read it. That is one I would definitely skip. I think I have the answers in my office. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Let's skip it and move on. Try number 10. You got 1 minute. Go. Doing this one because I don't like to say I don't know how. Really careful on this one. Median means middle, but that doesn't mean the middle of June and July. So if I want to find the median of this data, I have to put the data in order. Doing that could take some time. So 13, 15, 16, 19, 19, 22, 25, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so the middle, there's 12 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 is between the 22 and 25. I've got to find the middle of that. So it's halfway between 22 and 25. That would be 23 and a half. And that one, just because of the length, it's not hard, Yeah, you're likely to miss it because you forgot to put them in order. Maybe you said it's going to be in the middle of that. I bet you there's going to be a, yeah, 16 is one of your choices. That's not accurate. You have to list them and then find it. That might be one that you skip because it's taking you longer. It's not hard, but maybe it's one to come back to. It's up, I don't know, it's up to you. Okay. Getting behind typing. Number 11. Try to give yourself about a minute. I'm multitasking. I'm reading retake tests and doing this at the same time. Student setting motion to observe the cart rolling at a constant rate along a straight line. The table below gives the distance t. The cart was from the reference point at 1 second intervals from 0 to 5. Which of the following equations represent this relationship? On this one, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just going to tell you, if I plug in a 0 here, do I get a 14? Yes. If I plug in a 1, do I get a 20? No, this one's out. If I plug in 0 in here, do I get a 14? No, this one's out. If I plug a 0 in here, do I get a 14? Yes. If I plug in a 1, do I get a 20? Yes. If a 2, a 26, a 3, a 32, this part C is my answer. So you don't have to actually do it. You just start plugging in numbers to see if it works. There's a strategy for you. Number 12, the length of a rectangle. Oh, sorry. Number 12, you have 1 minute, go. The length of a rectangle of area 54 square centimeters. So it's a rectangle of 54. One of the sides is 9. What's the perimeter? So I need to find this other side. So 9 times what is 54? 9 times 6. So if we add those together, you get 30. Number 13. 1 minute, go. The figure below C is the intersection of AD and DE. You learned this last year. If it can be determined what is the measure of angle BAC. BAC is this one right here. So you need to know this one first. These two are vertical, so this is 45. Add these together, you get 80. In a triangle, they all have to add up to be 180, so angle A must be 100. Okay, try number 14. M1, that's how you spelled it, M1, drew the circle graph below describing time spent at school in one day. The teacher said that the number of hours listed were correct, but that the central angle measures for the sectors are not correct. What should be the central angle measure for the core subject sectors? So core subject sectors. Right here it has it at like a whole diameter, right? How many hours are there total? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so it's going to be out of 9. If he had 4 out of the 9 of those hours being the core subjects, now this is an angle. All of the angles in a circle are 360, so let's multiply that by 360. So it should be 160 degrees each. So this one right here is saying you need to come up with a new fraction for the core subject, because 10½ is not correct. All right, next page. All right, take 1 minute, go. Okay, on this one, this month County sold 70 figurines in 2 sizes. The large figurines sold for $12 each, and the small ones sold for $8. The amount of money he received from the sales of larger figurines is equal to the amount of money he received from the sales of the small figurines. So 12 times x equals 8 times y. That would be one equation. There's $12 for every big and $8 for every small. But I know if I add them together, there was 70 total, right? So, if you say, ooh, what's the best way to do this? How many large figurines did Tammy sell this month? We can try it. So if I plug in 20, I mean, you can just try by plugging it in. 12 times 20 is 240. If I sold 20 large, that means I sold 60, no, not 60, 50. 8 times 50 is 400. Those are not the same amount. So let's try again. Pretend like it was 28. 12 times 28. If I sold 28, that means I sold 20, 50, 42. Are those numbers the same? Calculator keeps yelling at me that I'm going to run out of my battery. So this is 336. This is 336. There it is. That was nice. Whew. So just to plug in on that one. Number 16. You have 1 minute. Go. Clearly don't have time to finish this, but hopefully you can take it home and look at it if you want. The car accelerated from 88 feet per second. Actually, I lied. Whenever we don't finish the homework assignment, please finish it. Okay, 88 feet per second to 22 feet per second in exactly 3 seconds. Assuming the acceleration was constant, what was the car's acceleration in feet per second? In feet per second from 88. Ooh, this is definitely a skip. Sorry, I'll look into it in a second, but number 17. Try that one. And then I keep looking at this one. For second is confusing. I would skip this one completely. So the acceleration must be the difference between the speed, like how much speed you're increasing. So kind of like the constant rate of change. I would say, I'm going to have to look at the answers. I would say number 16 is H. I'm going to jot that down and I'll look in a second. Let's look at the next one. Okay. To the next one, number 17. In a plane, the distinct lines A, B, and C, D intersect at A, where A is between C and D. So I've got A, B, and I know C and D. A is between them. The measure of angle BAC is 47. What is the measure of BAD? Well, it forms a line, so 180 minus 47 is 133. And that one is just getting the picture in the right spot, alright? Number 18, you got 1 minute. Ooh, this looks like a bunch of comparing fractions.
Hopefully this one's quick for you.
Okay, if I want to write them in ascending order, I have to put them in order from small to large. This is 0.5. 5.6, I think, is 0.83, but let me just confirm. 0.83. You could get them to a common denominator, but that takes longer. 0.625. So the 1/2 has to come first. 1/2 is less than 5/8, which is less than 5/6. I would say that is correct. Number 19, 1 minute. Scientific notation, that plus that equals what? Well, really quick, I can automatically eliminate A because I know that it can be negative because negative would be a decimal. So let's add these together. They both have the same number of zeros, 700. So you would get 13, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got to be to the 9th power. And a headache. Okay, moving on. To get a driver's, oh, go ahead. 1 minute. license, an applicant must pass a written test and a driving test. Past records show that 80% of the applicants pass the written test and 60% of those who have passed the written test pass the driving test. Based on these figures, how many applicants in the random group of 1,000 applicants would you expect to get a driver's license? Well, 80% of those do. 60% of those do. 480. 480. So you take your number, find the 80%, you get 800, find 60% of that, and you get the 480. Okay, 1 minute. Tricky. This is really just so you know how to manipulate your numbers. You could find an ABC. That's probably what I would do. On this one, I would say let A equals 1. No, A equals 2. Ones are tricky. B equals 3. C equals 4. So right here, you would have 2 to the third, which is 8. Right here, I chose different numbers so that if you have any, sometimes when you have 2 2s or 2 4s or something, those double numbers can make things look different than what they really are. So C to the B would be 4 to the third, which is 64. And then XY would be 8 times 64, which is something big, and you could plug each of those into here to see which one's 8 times 64. I don't know if that would take a lot of time. Or, let's look at this. If I want to find XY, it would be A to the B times C to the B. Which one of these is equivalent to A to the B times C to the B? Well, this one's not. A times C to the 2B. I can rewrite this so A times C are together, but what would be up here? Look at this one. Can I distribute that B through? It's not really distributing, but because that's a multiply, it is the same thing. So this one, H. Woo-wee! This one's really simple. It's just can you do it quickly and without mistakes? Try it. Okay, so combine my terms first. 6x and 12x are 18x. Minus 2i plus 2i, they go away. So 1/2 y squared, the 1/2 and the 18 become a 9. 9xy squared. Fun, cool. 24. If I wasn't like more than halfway down with the video, I'd probably start over. I'm going to start pausing it I'll leave the instructions for the substitute, but if at any question you want to deposit really quick to, I guess you would already know this. And if you want to pause it and look to see what the heck did you see this do, you can. It just means we're not going to get as far through the material. And then when I'm ready to move on, I'll move in it. You have it on your paper. So an artist makes a profit of 500p minus p squared dollars from selling p paintings. What is the fewest number of paintings the artist can sell to make a profit of at least 60,000? So I would take this and I would just start plugging them in. Plug in the 100 for p, see what you get. Plug in 150 for p, see what you get. Plug in 200, see what you get. If you plug in 100, 100 times 100 minus 100 squared, you get 40,000. So that can't be it. If you plug in 150, you get 52,500. Not that one. Plug in 200, you get 6,000 of at least 60,000. This isn't at least 60,000, it's exactly 60,000. You plug in 300, you get exactly 60,000. So it's not that one either. You plug in 600, now it better be this one. We get negative. Hold on a second. Okay, so of at least 60,000 must mean at least, or equals to. So it's the fewest number of paintings, this one. Because these are both 60,000. That one's negative. That doesn't make sense. All right. Next page, try number 25. Lucy had total expenditures of $900. The pie chart below breaks down these expenditures by category. The category in which Lucy's expenditures were greatest is what percent of her total expenditures? So the nearest 1%. So the category in which Lucy's expenditures were greatest is what percent? So greatest was clothing. So 254 out of the 900 will give us a percentage. 254 divided by 900 is 28.22. So we'd say 28% is Lucy's greatest percentage. Okay, 1 minute. Try number 26. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get to 30, so it's half of the test, and then you will spend the rest of the time working in groups or partners or whatever to try the rest and figure them out together. I'm sure this is incredibly boring. So I think that's what we'll do. Okay, number 26, in the figure below, the measures of angle BAC is x plus 20, and the measures of CAD is 90. BAC is x plus 20. CAD is 90. What is the measure of CAD? So you don't even care about this. Oh, wait, yes, you do. So this is going to be 90 minus the other one, right? So 70 minus x minus 20 would be 70 minus x. G. Okay, try the next one. What is the perimeter in inches of the isosceles right triangle shown below, whose hypotenuse is 8 square root 2? We are learning this lesson next time. So you need to find the perimeter, which means you need to find x. This is a 45, 45, 90 because it is it's an isosceles triangle. So if you use trig, kind of as a brief overview, based on this angle, you've got your adjacent side, you've got your hypotenuse. So the cosine, because you're using SOHCAHTOA, there's a different way to do this that you will learn next time, but I'm not going to go into it today. The cosine of 45 is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Really quick plug in. Well, I guess you can't easily. Times this by 8 square root 2. So 8 square root of 2 times the cosine of 45. Is 8. That's nice. 8. Good. 3 more. Oh, sorry. I'll leave that up for a minute. and y equals ax squared plus bx plus c is graphed in the standard xy coordinate plane. For what real values of a, b, and c when y equals 0, which of the following best describes the solution for x? So, hold on a second, the equation. What is the following best? So here's the graph. We have a solution here, it looks like, and a solution here. Two distinct positive reals, two distinct negative reals, one positive real, one negative real, two reals that are not distinct, two distinct solutions that are not real. I'm not entirely sure what distinct means, so throwing that word out the window, two distinct positive, we know they're real because they cross, right? If it was imaginary, it wouldn't cross, so we're going to ignore the word real. Two positive real solutions, well, they're not both positive. Two negative real solutions. Well, they're not both negative. One positive and one negative real solution. I believe that's it. Two real solutions that are not one positive real solution, one negative. Two distinct solutions that are not real. Well, we know that they're real. So if I were to, if I were to guess, I have no idea what the word distinct means. I would not be getting a full score on this ACT. Alright, moving on. These that can be real. With you. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Ooh, try that one. Product means multiplying. So we're going to multiply these. This is actually a difference of squares question. We've got negative 9i squared plus 12i minus 12i plus 16. Well, I squared is a negative 1, so we're going to substitute that with a negative 1. So the negative 9 times the negative 1 becomes a positive 9. Those cancel. We get 25. I won't talk much strategy. I'm going to ask around, see if there's anything more I can bring to the table. Again, if you don't know how to do something, don't spend a lot of time. Skip it and come back to it. Make sure when they give you the 5-minute warning, you answer every single question. You're more likely to get a higher score if you guess on the rest. Let's just do this. I'm done. I'm ready to go home. I've been here for almost 5 hours. So, and it's Saturday. The radius of the base of the right circle cone shown below is 5 inches, and the height of the cone is 7 inches. Solving which of the following equations gives you the measure of theta? So, this is a trig question again. So this is my angle. Remember SOHCAHTOA, opposite over adjacent. Would that be sine, cosine, or tangent? The TOA part, tangent of theta equals what over what? Opposite over adjacent, 7 over 5. There you have it. Alright, the rest of the time is yours. Go ahead and stop the recording. Good luck. Please finish the other 30 problems at home. Or in class you have roughly 20 minutes left. I hope this was beneficial. You take the ACT on the 28th. The last couple things that I read were just to relax.
The night before, get to bed early. Don't change up your normal routine too much. Yeah, you may want to eat a good breakfast, but don't like go crazy, and then you're not feeling like you normally do in the morning. But go to sleep early. And then I'll ask around and see if I can come up with any more, any more helpful hints. So that's everything. Thanks for watching. Sorry it was boring, but you know, the live show is much better than the recorded version. Anyway, peace out. Have a good time. See you next week. Bye.